Hello everyone, my name is Inarashi, and this is my guide to playing Genji. I've been in the closed beta since week 1, and have been playing in high MMR bracket since the beginning. I've logged hundreds of hours playing Genji, and with this guide, hopefully you too can learn how to play him in preparation for the open beta and eventual release of the game. Genji's passive allows him to double jump and climb up walls by holding the spacebar. This is great for shortcuts or making an escape. Make use of constant double jumps when using your ultimate. Genji's primary attack are his shurikens. These fly in a perfectly straight line and have no damage drop off, meaning they do the same damage at all ranges. Left clicking rapidly fires 3 shurikens at the exact position of your crosshair. It is important to note that using melee or any ability during the throwing animation can cause Genji to throw less than 3 shurikens. So for maximum damage, let all 3 fire before using an ability. Right clicking instantly fires 3 shurikens in a fan-shaped pattern. This deals higher damage per second than left click if all shurikens hit. An important combo to master is right clicking into a melee attack. Depending on your ping, and with practice, you can get the 2 attacks off only frames apart for massive burst damage.
The objective is
Genji's first ability, Swift Strike, is a forward dash, dealing moderate damage to any enemy's hit. Unlike Tracer's Blink, Swift Strike can go in any direction, not just on a horizontal plane. This ability resets when Genji earns an elimination. This reset is perhaps the most crucial part of Genji's entire kit. Make use of this to dash in, get a kill, and escape with your newly refunded cooldown.
Activated.
Genji's second ability is Reflect. Activating this ability causes Genji to reflect all bullets and projectiles from in front of him. The attacks are reflected onto your crosshair, so for maximum effect, you should still be aiming at enemies when using it. Reflect also blocks all incoming melee attacks, including Reinhardt's hammer, but not another Genji's ultimate. You can even reflect enemy ultimates.
Fair far left.
It is important to note that while using Reflect, Genji can still be hit from behind. Genji only reflects attacks that actually hit his hitbox, so he can still be hit by splash damage, such as Pharah's rockets. Genji's ultimate is Dragon Blade. For 8 seconds, Genji loses his ranged shuriken attacks in exchange for a massively powerful melee weapon. It is vital to note that activating Dragon Blade also resets the cooldown of Genji's dash, so don't hold your ult just because your dash is down. This is one of the more polarizing ults in the game. In the hands of a novice, it is quite weak and underwhelming, but with practice, it is easily one of the strongest ultimates in the game. So when should you pick Genji? He is not a hero that is built for every situation, like Soldier 76 for example. If the enemy team is countering Genji, such as using multiple Winstons and McCrees, I would recommend picking a different hero. Pick Genji when your team needs a flanker, the enemy team has a vulnerable healer such as Mercy or Zenyatta, or when you need to shut down a sniper. If the enemy team is playing spread out, or if they have many low health heroes, then playing Genji is a great idea. So I've talked about what Genji does, but how do you play him? Genji's playstyle is very unique, and different even to a hero like Tracer's. The most important thing to learn is how to keep track of your surroundings, and know what engagements you can and can't take. Having spatial awareness is more important here than on any other hero. You need to be able to keep track of enemies and allies, even when they're not on the screen. This is a skill that takes practice and knowledge of the map, but is vital in having success on Genji. Genji's primary way of dispatching enemy players is getting up close and personal. Lead with a left click, and then use your dash to deal damage and close the distance on your target. Once you're up close, use a combination of right clicks and melee attacks to finish them off. Use your Reflect if the enemy hero is capable of putting out a large amount of damage, such as Pharah or Reaper. One thing to master if you want to become a great Genji is a quick 180-degree flick shot, as your dash will almost always put you directly behind your target. The biggest mistake I see players make, especially when playing Genji, is not valuing their own life enough. This is where spatial awareness comes into play. Don't dash alone into a group of enemies just to try and kill the support. One of Genji's strengths is his flanking, and as a flanker, staying alive is more important than getting kills. If you're behind an enemy, throwing shurikens at them, you're creating pressure, and it's this pressure that can cause the enemy lines to crumble and win you the objective. Unless you know for sure there's an isolated enemy that you know you can beat in a 1v1 situation, be cautious about going in. Wait for your team to make a move, then attack from behind, hitting the enemy team from both sides. Remember, Genji has the strongest fight cleanup in the game, so there's no shame in letting your allies poke an enemy down, and going in at the end to clean up the scraps. Genji's ultimate can be difficult to use, but as previously mentioned, in the hands of an experienced player, it can wipe an entire team. The most important aspect of Genji's ultimate is timing. Don't open up a team fight by ulting and charging in. Let the enemy use some of their abilities, and let your teammates create some distraction before you use it. One thing to keep in mind is that there is a delay between activating the ultimate and being able to attack. Use it just before you peek around a corner to counter this. When playing Genji, there are 3 enemies that you need to take special caution for: Mei, McCree, and Winston. When facing these heroes, avoid getting close, instead keep your distance and whittle down their health before dashing into them to finish them off. Genji is a hero all about instinct, and that instinct can only come with practice. But hopefully this guide can give you some insight on some of the concepts and strategy when playing him. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like or subscribing, it really helps me out. And thanks for watching.
triple.